So is it wrong for politicians to let their hair down in public? Does it give the wrong impression? Emily?
I think that Angela's whole thing is that, you know, she's one of the lads and people enjoy that about her, and that's very much her shtick. But I would also argue that people love Boris, and, you know, Boris clearly loves to party too. So I don't know that it's a bad thing, because enough people have, you know, have embraced Boris and loved what he's done for the country. Some people disagree with that, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, obviously they have to set an example, but they are also human beings.
Dan Hodges, previously a Labour supporter, would just suggest that the optics of that video aren't great, Kulveer, at a time of national economic crisis.
Now, we were talking about Christmas parties earlier, and, you know, this is a time when people are going to let their hair down. Angela's letting her hair down. She's showing her human side. We're told often politicians don't look human. And as Emily says, she has a personality. That's well known. So I think she's fitting in to her time.
She's on brand.
She's on brand. She's on brand Angela. And I think that's great. I saw her earlier this week. She was co-hosting the Political Cartoon of the Year Awards with Jacob Rees-Mogg. What a pair they were on stage. So,
and Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Yeah. Well,
PJ.
I hope I don't get cancelled for that.
Yeah, I'm not commenting on that one. So I think it's right for her, but it has to be done in the context of, yes, they are going to be seen as leaders. And we all have that role, whichever, you know, if you're leading a team, if you're in a business, or if you're in a work environment, if you lose that sense of, well, you are a serious person and it doesn't fit into the natural character that you're presenting, then I think you have a problem. But I don't think Angela has a problem doing that. The only issue I have is, where was the vinyl, Angela? It looked all really digital there, as a student DJ.
Absolutely right. You're old school, aren't you? Of course, Peter, the reason I made that remark about her décolletage is because she mentioned in an interview about her breast augmentation. So she's all out there in every sense of the word. Angela's Angela. Is this a win or a fail for Labour?
Well, I hadn't actually seen that story about décolletage, but no, I think it's fine. And I think...
How many points in Scrabble do I get for décolletage, do you think?
I think probably quite a few.
A zillion.
That's a winner.
In terms of DJing, no, I think it's all harmless fun. I think, one, the public like politicians to remind themselves. And remember, you know, go back a few years, David Cameron on holiday was quite happy to be photographed sitting on the beach, looking quite pink, a bit sunburnt, and reading The Sun. And he was obviously associated with the word chillaxing. Everyone likes to relax in different ways. And as Kulveer said, this is authentic, you know. If it had been Gordon Brown DJing, it wouldn't have quite rung true, because we're all different in our downtime, aren't we? Angela was obviously enjoying it. It's genuine. And, it was for a charity, right? And that's the ultimate defence, isn't it? You know, you're old enough to remember Smashy and Nicey, the fictional DJ. She's got to plead the defence. It's for charity, mate.
Yeah, well, I impersonate them every night, let me tell you. You know Angela, don't you?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I've got a lot of respect for her, but I couldn't say I know her well.
Well, what do you make of her as a political phenomenon? Because, I mean, she's one of the best-known, most high-profile politicians in the country. She seems to have cut through with the public, and she always does well when she stands in for Starmer at PMQs. Would she make a more persuasive leader?
I think Keir Starmer's doing very well, and if he's elected to Downing Street and serves for a long time and then hands the baton over one day, she's definitely one of...
She's got a bit more about her than Keir. She's more Boris than Keir is, isn't she? She's arguably a populist in the mould of Boris.
I think she is perhaps a populist. I think personality-wise, I think she's got a greater sense of personal responsibility. But actually the thing, at least Labour folk like, that I know, is you've got a mix of styles. Keir Starmer, loyally, sensible. You probably wouldn't see him on the dance floor. Angela didn't have a traditional education, acute and pragmatic in a different way, clearly not stupid, but she's much more out there in the way she speaks. So I think they're a very good mix.
What do you think of Angela Rayner? Do you think she's got a bright political future? I mean, we're talking about her, aren't we?
I mean, I do. I love how straight-talking she is, and I completely agree. I think she is a really good partner to Keir's very straight down the line, you know, human rights background persona. I think they make a very formidable team, and I do think that she is a serious person, even though she has this kind of fun side to her, where she is very authentic and very real.
I wonder if we're giving her an easy ride, Kulveer. This is somebody that wants to be the Deputy Prime Minister of this country. She called Conservatives scum. She can be quite unguarded in her comments and in her behaviour.
Yes, I was going to say I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the things she says, be it on the politics side or how she expresses some of those opinions, but she is giving a voice to a community of people on the Labour side that want to hear from her and hear that sort of message. But I think she's also playing the John Prescott card. She is effectively the
She's the
modern-day
Ginger
John
Prescott, isn't she?
Well, yes, potentially. You know, there were the two Jags. But he, you know, there's a need for Labour to have that broad church, that broad element of voices, and she's playing that role at the moment.